Does your little lovey need a quilted crown? Let's go make it. But first, share this so it will save to your profile and you can find it when you're looking for it later. The first thing I did was piece some fabric together. I just patchworked it, and then I cut out a piece for the front of the crown and a piece for the back. The template's available at hometownquiltcompany.com. Download it, cut your pieces out. Then I put my patchwork piece on some cotton batting and I quilted it. I just did some diagonal lines on it. Easy peasy. Now I'm going to take the back of my crown and lay it face down. So, quilted piece, face up, the back of it, face down. I'm going to draw a mark here and a mark here. I'm going to sew from here, make sure you can see all of it. I'm going to sew from this mark over and up all the way around the entire crown, and when I get back to this mark, I'm going to stop. I'm just going to sew straight stitch, 1/4 inch seam, back stitching when I stop and when I start, because my grandma said so, and leave my hole. But first, y'all, I done almost forgot the most important part. We have to have some way to put it on our babies. So I have this satin ribbon that I'm using. It doesn't have to be satin. You can use whatever you want. I just happen to have this, so it's what I'm using. And I probably, if I were buying something for this, I maybe would do something a little more narrow than what I have, but before I sew anything, I'm gonna take 2 pieces of ribbon that's 12 inches long. You just saw 4 pieces, but the other 2 are for the other little lady's crown, so pretend like you didn't see that. We're gonna lay 1 piece of ribbon here and 1 piece of ribbon here. We want to clip it at the edge of our crown. And then we're gonna lay the back piece over it. And now we're gonna sew it from here all the way around back to here. My ribbon is a little wider than what I would probably choose if I were buying ribbon for this. It's just what I have, so it's what I'm using. So I'm gonna fold mine down because I don't wanna accidentally sew it in this seam. So make sure that you don't accidentally sew your ribbon because that's not fun. Not fun. There's nothing fun about it. And you've already done all this work to make the quilted front part of your crown. We don't want to be tearing it apart. Okay. So now we're going to put this on here. We're going to pin, clip, whatever we need to do, making sure our ribbon is out of the way. So all the way around, straight stitch, 1/4 inch seam, back stitch when you stop and when you start.
The little lady's most favorite thing to do is to pretend. They want to play dress up and pretend, and I love to pretend too. It's probably my favorite thing about little people. That, and they love a story. And our stories always start with Princess Olive and Princess Olivia and the adventures of Princess Olive and Princess Olivia. You know, crossing the moat from their castle, running into the rainbow forest, picking gumdrops off of the bushes, watching the unicorns play in the distance. All of the fun fantasy things. And I've always made up stories to tell them, but now they're getting old enough to make up their own stories.
I don't love to clip my corners. I just don't love it. I always cut my thread. But you need to clip these down in here as close as you can, but please don't cut your thread because then you have to sew it again. Clip those so that when it turns, it'll turn out and you'll have pretty points. If you don't clip that, you won't have pretty points and then you'll be frustrated. So we've clipped those. Now we're going to turn it right side out. Now when we're turning this right side out, we're going to use our chopstick, handy dandy tool, fingers, whatever you got. Do not use your scissors. Don't do it. Do not do it. It's a terrible idea. You'll be crying because you poked a hole in your project. I'll be crying because you didn't listen to me. Everybody's crying. It's just not fun. Let's just don't do that. So, chopstick from the Chinese restaurant, or I think you can buy 6 million of them at Walmart for 12 cents. Really, I don't know how much they are, but they're not expensive for a whole bunch of them. Take your handy dandy tool, whatever you got, poke all of your points up. We're going to top stitch all the way around. And when we do, we will close the hole up that we left. And we're gonna have the sweetest quilted crown for some little ladies.
I didn't iron it. And you know why I didn't iron it? Because I was so excited. Because it was so cute and I couldn't wait to see what it looked like finished. But don't do like I did. Go iron yours and then come back and top stitch it. Because it makes the top stitching so much easier. But y'all, this is precious. I can't wait to see the ones that y'all make. Don't forget to email me a photo to hometownquiltcompany@gmail.com.
Oh my goodness. Look what y'all just made. So stinking precious. Okay, so my ribbon is 12 inches long. I'm not sure if I told y'all how long it was. And make sure that you do something to the ends of your ribbon. You can use fray check. You can singe them. If you don't do something to them, they'll ravel. So make sure you do something to the ends of your ribbon. And make sure you cut all those threads off. No little kid wants that hanging from their costume. Especially when they're a princess. Oh my goodness. My name is Tammy. I'm your favorite sewing teacher. I might wear this the rest of the day. And I would love for you to come sew with me.